mattresses to hard hats, plus fast, dependable delivery. So he can rise to every challenge. Call 1-800-GRANGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
When guys like me separate from the military, we tried to move forward. But to truly move forward, we need to take care of our bodies and our minds. I finally understood that after I went to VA. I saw the difference it made to have providers who understood what I've been through and know how to help. I'm getting the highest quality health care at the lowest cost. And I'm telling every veteran I know that taking care of yourself is the strongest thing you can do. Get what you've earned. Visit choose.va.gov.
When you need Case Construction equipment, ASCO is your dealer. From compact track loaders to full-size excavators, Case Construction equipment delivers performance you can count on. And ASCO backs you with the expert service and support you need to keep you running all year round. Sales, rental, parts, service. We're on it at ASCO Equipment. Visit ASCOEQ.com or stop by your local ASCO today.
Broadcasting from the Valley's commercial and fleet headquarters studio at PayneAutoGroup.com. You're listening to News Talk 710 KURV. From the Radio United Broadcast Center, this is the Sergio Show. Talking about the news headlines and topics that affect you. And now, the Sergio Show with Sergio Sanchez.
Happy Monday, hour 2 of the Sergio Show on 710 KURV. Appreciate you being with us. I love President Donald Trump. He is absolutely, he is imperfect, and that is part of the charm, and I believe the blessing of Donald Trump being president of the United States is that he was not a politician, not even a dog catcher. He did fund a lot of Democrat politicians up in New York. What else do you expect in New York as a billionaire seeking to curry favor or get the phone number, cell number of politicians that would soon go to Washington? Everybody from, shut down Chuck Schumer, Nancy Pelosi, you name it, Hillary Clinton when she was senator up in New York. Absolutely. He was in the mix of all these other, that was loud, all these other billionaires that would be sent from New York City specifically, to Washington, D.C. I love President Donald Trump. And I hope that he's playing 3, 4, 10-dimensional chess with his comment that the whole Epstein list doesn't exist, did not exist. Don't worry about it. Hey, we got bigger fish. Yes, sir, Mr. President, we have bigger fish to fry. We have death in Central Texas, floods and attacks on federal agents left, and all these things. Yes, I do agree with you, Mr. President. But one of the signature issues that President Trump ran on, or at least the expectation from many, because it was brought up during the presidential campaign, was the issue of transparency, open government that would be accountable to the American people. Yes, I do understand that Pam Bondi has a plate full, has investigations into the abuses related to January 6th and federal government abuses related to that, maybe investigations into ballot issues or election issues, Biden bribes, Chinese dealings, all those things, the auto pen issue, the bogus Russia investigation, all those things, Clapper, Brennan, Comey, all those individuals that need to be investigated. And they're opening an investigation into Jim Comey. Okay, great. Why don't you go investigate and prosecute and convict, and then get back to me with the headline later on? Because all of these things that the DOJ and Pam Bondi are working on, all these things are drowned out by the noise related to the Epstein file that we were told repeatedly existed by Ms. Bondi herself. And yes, whether it was just a lie, typical politician lie that, it's on my desk, you lied to us. Well, I think the American people need to know. I think we need to know. And it really does sting, and it hurts that the president is so dismissive about this when it is a signature issue. We expect to be told the truth. We demand that we voted for this. I voted for this. The Epstein list thing requires immediate resolution, in my opinion. And the sooner the better, because this is an albatross. It's a dead weight. It is drag on lift. You name it, call it what it is. But why should anyone believe anything else that the DOJ is working on if we can't properly resolve it? If it did not exist, just tell me you lied, Ms. Bondi. Oh, it was part of my paperwork. I thought it existed, and then I looked through it and no, nothing there. And by the way, and it would not surprise. And tell me the truth. If there are people in financing and banking, you name it, construction, military companies, whatever, Hollywood, politicians, if there are individuals that they're revealing their name as far as a client list or some fly list or some contact list, define it properly, explain it to the people who supported you. Tell them, okay, we got a list of names, but not all these people are pedophiles. We know that they wrote on Jeffrey Epstein's plane. Explain that. You need to flesh out all the facts, all the truth related to this. If there are individuals that will not be prosecuted because there's no case to prosecute because they're not pedophiles, tell us that. If there are individuals that you do not wish to release the names of because in the minds of the American people, they will connect one thing with the other and, they're on the Epstein list. Being on the Epstein list doesn't mean that you're a pedophile. Well, say that, explain that to working people and voters. I think we deserve at least that much. And well, I hope they do that because I do not believe this is going away, nor should it go away. That's just my opinion. Time is 10:12. Hey, join us tomorrow, 9 to 11 a.m. The Sergio Show, I'll be the expectation is for us to be right outside the National Weather Service office. We're pitching a tent, talking with Barry Goldsmith, the warning coordinator, meteorologist. Barry Goldsmith at the National Weather Service office. We'll be joined as well by Joe Bastardi. We'll be chiming in from Weather Bell, his company. In fact, I have a conversation scheduled with him later this morning. And, of course, the emergency management folks. Yes, we're looking at tropical coverage 2025 and how the season's going, what the expectation is. Rain in northern Mexico, how much rainwater we can expect into the Rio. If they're holding it in Mexico, they need to release that sometime soon. And yes, all the nasty weather events in central Texas. And if weather's any different now than it was, a year ago or 2 years back, all those things. It is the Tropical Season 2025 special from the National Weather Service office tomorrow. Big thank you to our many supporters, including the San Rose Beach Resort and Beachside Ola Bar and Grill. And in my mind, I am there right now. Man, that sounds like a really nice place down South Padre. Time is 10:14. I have Melanie Powers back in studio with me. How you doing, Melanie? Good to see you again.
Thanks for having me back.
Well, I appreciate you stopping by. Powers Medical Clinic, as I've been saying from time to time, and I like to emphasize the words ethically obtained stem cells, stem cell therapy that heals and removes pain and regenerates. And I asked Melanie, this is a great topic conversation. Last time you were on, we had some activity, like people asking questions and sending emails and all that stuff. So you know what, Mel, come on back and give me some, from your perspective, for your clinic, some testimonials, some examples of some folks that have gone in there, again, with the ethically obtained stem cells. And you can explain that again here in a little bit. But stem cell therapy, it works and it does heal. So give me a couple of examples of folks that have gone recently with you.
We've had some actually great examples the last few months since I was in.
Uh-huh.
One of my favorite examples is a woman that flew in from New York to have treatment, and she was suffering from COPD on oxygen with 18% lung capacity.
Oof.
Yeah.
Oof.
So she
was she like a smoker and her lungs were just...
She had been a smoker. Okay. Yeah, she'd been a long-time smoker. She flew in with her husband, and we did the protocol for the COPD, and she left there feeling, worried because she'd been smoking and she just quit smoking right before she decided to do the stem cell treatments. And so she'd been worried about, can I stop smoking? And so she had the protocol done for the stem cells. She has actually three series in the protocol.
Okay.
She had her first one done. And 2 weeks later, her husband calls and says, I've got to tell you, my wife is doing great. She called me down to the kitchen the other day and she says, watch this. And she took this really deep breath. I haven't seen her do that in 5 years. And I said, oh, that's fantastic. And then about a week later, he calls me again and I says, everything okay? And he goes, it's more than okay. We went to our pulmonologist this week, and he did the x-ray that he does every quarter to see how our lungs are doing. And he walked back into the treatment room and he said, "What did you do?" And she says, "What do you mean?" He said, "Your lungs are clear."
Wow.
And that was after
Well,
one treatment.
The stem cells go find an area of ailment or pain. I don't know. How do
They search out inflammation.
okay.
So they search the exosomes and the stem cells search out inflammation, and they destroy the inflammation in the body, which, as we all know, inflammation causes disease. It searches it out and it destroys it, and then it starts recreating new cells. So it regrows cells where they need to be.
Well, amazing to hear that in organs that do not regenerate cells, like lungs,
Yes.
for example.
Right,
My
right.
son is a cystic fibrosis patient, and thank God for the CF Foundation that has made just advances in
Mhm.
treatment and pharmaceuticals, and he's doing good. Thank you,
Yeah.
Jesus. He's doing fine. So the whole thing, but I've heard because of the treatments that people on the transplant list have been removed because of the new medications that they have. But to
Yes.
hear that on this side, on
Yeah.
the stem cell side,
Yeah.
there's potential treatment. That's
Yeah.
an amazing
There's-
blessing.
Yeah,
So,
the National Institute of Health has an ongoing study right now for COPD and asthma with this protocol that we're
with
using.
the stem cell.
Yeah.
Okay, so as I said at the beginning, ethically obtained stem cells.
Yes.
Melanie Powers with Powers Medical Clinic. You'll hear me every now and then talk about their clinic, about these ethically obtained stem cells. Why do I say, well, I know why I say, because in my audience, when they hear stem cells, it's like ding, 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 ding,
Yes.
bells and whistles and alarms. No, ethically obtained stem cells. How, why, and I guess they can go like I did, go take a tour and go see for themselves
Yes.
how it works.
So the stem cells come from donors. Typically, it's a husband and wife that come in. They want to donate the cord blood and the cord from their live birth.
Mhm.
We go back 3
The
generations.
umbilical cord, the baby, the perfect cells, they're at birth. They,
Yes. Yeah.
after birth.
Not even a day old. These cells
Yeah.
are cryofrozen.
Wow.
So they go. What our lab does is they go back 3 generations on both sides of the family to make sure that there are no genetic abnormalities.
Wow.
Yeah. Then they have a strict list they follow. There can be no smoking from either parent. There can be no drinking. There can be no drugs. There can be no tattoos. There can be no COVID vaccines.
Not even tattoos.
Not even tattoos.
Where do you go for these stem cells? Like Utah or something like that?
Yeah, actually, yes.
You go to Utah to get
yes,
these.
yes, that's where they come from.
Wow.
Yeah. So yeah, they're very, very clean stem cells, and once they're obtained from the baby's born, they take the placenta and the umbilical cord, and they freeze that umbilical cord immediately, and they start doing testing on the umbilical cord to make sure there are no bacteria, fungus. They test. It just goes through
My
major testing,
goodness.
and then it's quarantined for 3 weeks before it's released into the public for use.
Man, that is one tight filter.
It's a very tight filter.
Wow, that's good. And then when you meet a candidate that wishes to get for pain or for healing or
Sure.
regeneration of whatever, like
Yeah.
a lung or something like that, you said there's a 3-step protocol.
Yeah.
So explain that to me. What do they need to?
So for the lung patients, there is a Dr. Martin, who is a brilliant stem cell doctor. He's developed all our protocols, and those protocols for the lungs in particular are a 3-session protocol. So you would come in the first week and you would do the first part of the protocol, and then 4 weeks later you would do the second part, and then on the 10th week you do the last protocol.
Oh, so it takes time.
It takes time.
Wow.
No, not all of the protocols are 3 sessions, but that one in particular, because it's such a difficult thing to heal, for your body to heal.
Well, there
Yeah.
you go. The stem cell therapy, like I've said, stem cell therapy, it heals, it works, it relieves pain, it regenerates something that is broken by age, or in this case, a smoker, abuse. Boy, man, I don't know what you needed to get her to promise never to smoke again, but I mean,
Yeah. Well, after
You know-
she had that result, it was pretty easy to stop smoking. You
Yeah.
get your health back. It's easy
okay,
to.
I'll hope so.
Yeah, I hope so
she
too.
can say- okay, because you've told me in the past, in the
Yeah.
initial meeting I had with you many weeks back, some months back, you told me there's some people that skirt the process. They don't say, they do not reveal they have X problem
Yes.
and to work on something else, but then the original problem that they hid from you got fixed, and you have no idea. Eventually, you find out that the stem cells went somewhere else to fix something that they did not reveal, something like that.
Yes, that can happen.
Yeah.
For sure.
You got another example of somebody you saw recently?
I do. I have a patient who suffered with terrible wrist pain.
Okay.
She was looking at surgery. And
what was it, like a carpal tunnel thing?
Carpal tunnel. She had multiple. She had some neuropathy. She had lots of different things going on in her body with her in relation to her nerves and her hands, and so she had carpal tunnel, and she also had neuropathy. And we did the first protocol, and she went from wearing braces on both wrists to no longer needing her braces, and her surgery has been canceled. So nice. She's well on her way to healing. I think we're going to do her second treatment here in about 3 weeks.
Okay. Now, is this permanent, or will she need to come back 6 months, 2 years down the line, something like that, to get more stem cells to protect everything?
Obviously our bodies continue to age. And a lot of times what patients will do is maybe they'll come in annually, depending on their situation and how they're feeling. They might come in annually for a little booster after they have their initial protocol.
Okay.
Other cases, they don't need to come back. Joint problems, a lot of times those patients we don't see them for years.
Nice.
Yeah.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, it's a free conversation. What else? I mean, you got nothing to lose except your pain.
Right.
Or discomfort or lack of function in some organ, something like whatever it is. I think you should have that conversation with Melanie and her team.
Yeah.
Powers Medical Clinic. Remember that name. Powers Medical Clinic. It is ethically obtained stem cells that heal and regenerate movement and function and will relieve you all that pain. And you should have that free conversation. Anything else before I let you go?
No, that's all. Thanks for
all right.
having me.
Come back and see me again, please.
I will. Thank you.
Try to gather a few more stories of how it's going.
Yeah.
Because I know, especially with this audience, it's a bit more mature than other audiences. I know we're shooting fish in a barrel on this one.
Aches and pains.
Yeah, there we go. Good to see you again, Mel.
Thank you.
Thanks for stopping by. Powers Medical Clinic. The phone number is 340-4120, 340-4120. And if you go online to look for the website, it's pretty much the same name, right, Melanie? It's a powersmedicalclinic.com, right? Powersmedicalclinic.com. Time is 10:23. The Sergio Show on News Talk 710 KURV. This hour of the program is service of South Texas Buick GMC. Big thank you as well to Lone Star National Bank.
This is Michael Berry of the Michael Berry Show, inviting you to stay tuned and join me later this evening, starting at 6, right after the 956 Drive Home with Zach and Davis on News Talk